Hello everyone, welcome to our second video for using our truck camper. This past Sunday we loaded up the truck, hooked up the ATV trailer and headed up to East Sparta, Ohio. There's a KOA campground up at East Sparta that we've been there a couple times before. It's about an hour and 15 minutes away from where we live, so it's a little bit of a hike to get up there. The interesting thing about this trip was we definitely had some different weather patterns that we're normally used to in August in the Ohio Valley. Normally this time of year in August, we typically see highs in the mid upper 80s, so it's not uncommon for it to be hot and humid, especially this time in August. But definitely some lower than normal temperatures. I think Sunday we struggled to get into the 70s, and then Monday when we were riding it again, same thing. It just kind of struggled to get into the 70s. On the trip up there, a lot of rain, a lot of rainy conditions, stormy conditions. We kind of expected that when we called and made our reservations at the KOA. They told us that it was raining there currently and the forecast wasn't looking good, but we had already made our minds up that we wanted to go riding on Monday. So we figured we would be fine in the truck camper. We weren't too worried about the weather. We were lucky in that we got there, kind of got everything set up. It was done raining by the time we got there. We got our camp set up, and then it did rain a little bit that night while we were camping. But again, you know, we were in the truck camper, so we were out of the weather, no issues there. And then Monday while we were riding, we had a few raindrops on Monday, but otherwise Monday was mostly dry. But the ATV trails were plenty muddy from all of the rain, and that was a good thing. When I spoke to the office at the KOA on Sunday, they told us that on Sunday they closed at 7 p.m., that if we were going to be there after 7 p.m., basically they would leave a map with our site number and all that stuff that they typically do at a KOA campground. So not a big deal if you get there after the office closes. And we checked the time when we got there, it was right at 7:05. So we just missed them closing up the office. So we had our paperwork waiting for us, and we got our spot set up. We drove over to our spot. We were actually supposed to be in T7, I think is what they had us listed on. But as we were setting up to get into the spot, we realized that the one right next to us, T8, was a little bit easier for us to, not easier to back the trailer into, but it was a little bit easier to back the trailer into the spot so we weren't sticking out on the road. So we kind of could stay hooked up to the trailer and still be out away from the road, so we weren't causing any issues or kind of blocking the road at all. So that worked out well. So the ATV park itself is actually not part of the campground. It's actually, I don't know, maybe a half a mile down the road. And then you can unload all your stuff down there. And again, we've been up to this ATV park multiple times over the last few years. One of the things that we really like about it is we like to go during the week when there's a lot less people. We've been up there on the weekends before, and it's not bad. It doesn't feel like it's crowded. I mean, there's plenty of room to ride, and even with the full parking lot, you don't feel like you're crowded on the trails as far as riding goes. But just with with Noah being a younger rider, I just worry more about him kind of getting in the way or causing issues with some of the more experienced riders, being a little bit slower. So that's the main reason we go up there through the week, is just with him being a younger rider, we kind of have a lot fewer people to worry about and for him to be around. But again, we've been up there on the weekends. We've been up there when it's been a full parking lot. We haven't had any issues, but it's just a lot nicer to go when there's not a lot of people there. We weren't alone for the entire afternoon. We actually had a couple other people that came in and were riding around the park as well. They had another dirt bike and another four-wheeler that came in. So the ATVs themselves, I ride a DS, Can-Am DS 250. My son rides a Yamaha Raptor 90. We had a really good day of riding. Here's just some clips of us riding around through the ATV park. And again, I'll have to look up and put in the video how many acres or how much land is actually available there to ride on. We've been going there a couple years now, and even at this stage, I feel like we still haven't seen everything that there is to offer there on a lot of those trails. And here we are eating our cold sandwiches from Walmart. This was kind of for me, this was kind of the highlight of the trip. You know, here we are just kind of hanging out and enjoying each other's company, just talking, enjoying our cold sandwiches and our drinks, and just getting ready for the afternoon ride. So after we got done riding, we actually got done riding a little bit earlier because we wanted to get home in time for supper, but we also wanted to do a little bit of swimming. So again, I know I mentioned the weather was not on our side for as far as swimming goes, but kind of a last blast before we go back to school this week. We wanted to get some swimming in, so we went back to the KOA campground and put on our swimming stuff and jumped in the pool. So we swam. The water was actually pretty nice. They told us when we were at the camp store that it was a heated pool. So temperature wise, the pool was nice. It was nicer in the pool than it was getting out. It was actually, you know, just barely being into the 70s and a little bit of a breeze. We were pretty chilly getting out of the water, but as long as we were in the water, we were in good shape. Well, thanks again for watching our videos, and we'll see you on the next one.